Hey everybody, this is Doa, and this is it, the epic conclusion, Game 3 of the semifinal match from LastPlayerStanding.com's Open Tournament number 2. Again, I am Doa, and here we have Fnatic KawaiiRice saying good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck to his opponent, the one, the only BboongBboongPrime LPS, the winner of the last game. And, you know, I gotta say, KawaiiRice, you know, he tried a bio style, tried to make it work, added on some siege tanks, but, you know, in the end, it just didn't do the trick. BboongBboongPrime making a huge amount of lings and banelings to hold off that initial push. And then after doing that, just making a big group of mutas to harass KawaiiRice and kind of just harassed him to death. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot that KawaiiRice could do. So, you know, a lot on the line. The winner of this tournament will get 500 Canadian dollars, and both of these guys want that, definitely. So they want to get to the finals. This is a big deal for both of them. We're on GSL Dual Site, of course, one of the coolest two-player maps out there in the entire world. Still a map that's played in the GSL right now. You've got the fiery, scary right side of the map, and then you've got the tranquil, peaceful left side, the grassy green, tranquil, peaceful last side of the map, which for some reason is getting infested with Zerg, while the Terrans, who I'm sure care an immense amount about the environment, are actually taking the side you would normally see a Zerg on, I would think, but I don't know. You can also call it the Mordor side and the Rivendell side if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I suppose. Curious to see what KawaiiRice is going to do in this game. I haven't seen these games before, of course, so I don't know who's going to win. I'm excited to find out. It's going to be awesome. Love to see KawaiiRice make it to the finals, but, you know, after last night's GSL Team League, I'd be really interested to see BboongBboongPrime make it to the finals as well. He's really kind of a character. I mean, he does some really unique things in his games, like last game, just massing huge amounts of speedlings and banelings. That's not something you see a whole lot, but if you meet this guy in real life, too, he's kind of an interesting dude, we'll put it that way. If you watch the Team League matches from last night, you'll definitely see that as well. So, interesting guy, interesting play style. We'll have to see if he keeps it up this game or if he does something a little bit more standard this time around. Have to kind of wait and see. And this Overlord trying to blend in with the trees. He's the perfect color for it now. You can hardly see him. He's like a spy Overlord. Spy Scantipede emerges from the fog of war. And Spy SCV rather obviously walks into the Zerg base to do some scouting. Sees no gas quite yet. Same opening that BboongBboongPrime did last game. Hatch first, followed by a pretty quick spawning pool. KawaiiRice looks like he's trying to do that mining trick that keeps the drones from mining at one patch, but his SCV gets greedy, goes ahead and takes some minerals. So that's going to be about that. And yeah, hatchery done for BboongBboongPrime. And looks like it will be probably a Reaper expand from KawaiiRice again, although he hasn't started the Reaper quite yet. So, oh, he does have one Reaper out right now, but hasn't started anything second. I think he wanted to get that factory and command center out, of course, being factory right here, command center right here. Probably going to switch these, get something out of the factory with the tech lab. Reaper doing some damage to the larva, I guess, for a moment, trying to, and he's going to hop up in the base and do a little bit more scouting, it looks like, as well. Queen's like, leave my babies alone. You ever notice that the Queen for StarCraft 2 kind of looks a little bit like the Queen from Aliens? You know the movie Aliens? It was made in like the 80s, I think it was. You know, Sigourney Weaver, Aliens, they like had the larva that bursts out of people's chests and stuff. It was awesome. That was one of my favorite science fiction movies of all time. One of the first movies where you got to see like space marines and stuff. Oh, look at this, a Zergling attack at the natural. I wasn't paying attention at all. Those little red dots. And, you know, this barracks is not finished right now. The SCV is repairing as fast as they can, but now that the Reaper's back, the Lings are going to need to make a run for it. Sorry about that, guys. Here I am, like, waxing nostalgic about the science fiction movies of my childhood, and there's, like, Zerglings attacking the natural. Yeah, so Stim and, Marine on the way. It looks like it's going to be more or less standard Marine tank after a little while. He is making some, Hellions there, of course, but wouldn't be surprised to see him switch it over. Normally you don't need two tech labs unless he's going to go for a combat shield, stim, Marine Hellion timing, which, you know, you see some players do every once in a while, but it's not quite as common. I'm guessing after these two Hellions finish, he's going to switch these over. Oh, he does have Marine queued up, though, so who knows. I could be wrong. KawaiiRice is definitely a unique player as well. He definitely has his own style. Doing some scouting as well, making sure that his opponent isn't taking one of these two gold bases in the corners of the map. Zerg players have liked to do that, actually. In fact, I even saw a game where I believe it was 6-Jack's Vibe actually just went ahead and took both golds as his natural and his third right away at the start of the game. A little bit of map control from the Hellions. And for now, he's just going to go ahead and keep making Marines with that. Marines and Hellions, he's going to go up and look for the third at the gold, but of course he's not going to find it. Lair on the way for BboongBboongPrime, so definitely a different strategy this time from BboongBboongPrime than last game. Last game he took a very long time to get onto Lair tech. So we are going to see something a little bit different this game, this time around. Making a couple spine crawlers to try to stay safe against Hellions. This is a really good map for Hellions, so it's not surprising at all to see these guys running around the map. As you can see, the natural is fairly wide open, but you know, if you put a couple queens here and a couple spine crawlers, you can cover it adequately. KawaiiRice might just try to go for it though. Nope, sees the spine crawler and pulls back. I think that's the right decision. Although, you know, that's a lot of drones at the natural. BboongBboongPrime just making a ton of drones right now. If I was a Hellion driver, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe wasting a couple of my vehicles to get in there to try to take out some drones. KawaiiRice may decide to do it. Right now, just kind of watching for creep tumors trying to be put down, trying to make sure that BboongBboongPrime can't spread that creep as much as he would want to. Now at the same time, BboongBboongPrime getting a Spire and also getting a Baneling nest somewhere. There's the Baneling nest. Back at the base of KawaiiRice, more barracks going up, a second factory as well, so probably going to be going into something similar that we saw last game. We're kind of going that Marine Marauder tank, or maybe just Marine Hellion tank. Also does have his natural up and running, and there's the third base for BboongBboongPrime. I was wondering when he was going to take that. Felt like he kind of wanted to. That is actually a lot of Hellions for KawaiiRice right now. Scanning to take out some creep tumors. And not needing to scan to take out a good amount of Zerglings. Wow, so many Hellions roast those Zerglings so quickly. And right now, KawaiiRice is really using that to get ahead. I mean, at the moment, BboongBboongPrime is going to need something other than Zerglings to try to keep up with the amount of Hellions that KawaiiRice is producing. Obviously, the Spire just finishing right now. There it is. So we're going to see some mutas probably started in just a second. Yep, 6 mutas on the way for BboongBboongPrime, and he actually has enough for a lot more. In fact, he could afford a lot more. He is not even supply blocked. He did get that +1 started. There we go. 8 mutas on the way. And look at this. Hellions did find the third base of BboongBboongPrime. So KawaiiRice sending some Marines across, but there is a Zergling counterattack here. KawaiiRice needs to lift the supply depot, gets it up just in time. And this natural, though, is going to take some damage. SCV's needing to make a run for it, and KawaiiRice having to pull back, leaving the hatchery here. He does send some Marines to try to take it out. And these Hellions should be able to clean up these clean up these Zerglings fairly quickly, and that's exactly what they do. In the meantime, this hatchery is going to be taken out for BboongBboongPrime. It's a nice little job by KawaiiRice, but the mutas are on the field and the Marines are pretty badly out of position right now. KawaiiRice doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air here. He is getting a couple turrets up. That's going to help a little bit, but the mutas are already out. And, oh, that's going to help a little bit. He's going to try to magic box it. I don't know. Okay, so now he's moving away. A little bit of indecision from BboongBboongPrime. Oh, he does lose a couple mutas, too. Lost at least one there, actually. So KawaiiRice a little bit in the lead this game, trying to chase down those mutas with the Marines. The Hellions trying to bait the mutas into the Marines. Smart little decision by KawaiiRice there. Nice little tactic. KawaiiRice is a very smart player too, so you will see him do a lot of fun little tricks like that as well. Macro hatch going up for BboongBboongPrime. He does need to get some of that money spent. I'm sure he wants to try to secure a third either here or here. It looks like he's going to try to retake his third here. He needs to get something going fairly quickly right now because KawaiiRice is really powering off those two bases. He's going to have a very strong army, and BboongBboongPrime needs a way to spend all that money. Alright, so what else do we have going on? +2 melee starting here. Ro4 on the way. Still some map control from KawaiiRice there. But, you know, he's going to have to be careful. Those Marines are protecting the Hellions, so they aren't going to be as good of a target as they normally would be. Looks like he's going to try to maybe poke into the main again. Yeah, but that Thor is still there as well as some Marines. And these mutas just getting trapped as well. So BboongBboongPrime in a bit of trouble here. Wow, KawaiiRice really giving this one of the top Korean Zergs a run for his money right now. I mean, BboongBboong certainly isn't on the same levels like Nest T or someone like that, but it's starting to be one of the Zergs that people are really starting to take note of. This hatchery is probably going to need to get canceled again. I don't think BboongBboongPrime has a whole lot that he can use to deal with that. You know, he's got a good amount of Lings and Banelings, but I don't think they're going to get there in time. Yeah, he does need to cancel that, immediately losing the drone, and immediately retaking a third down here. And I really think this is the safer and easier third to take on this map. Although in general, your third is pretty far from your natural, as you can see, so it's tough all around, I think, for all three races to really hold and control a third base. Muta's coming in to try to do some damage. They can easily take out this missile turret and start to do some damage to these SCVs, and KawaiiRice is pretty far out of position right now. He does have a Thor there, though. That's going to help quite a bit. Yep, Thor's just doing a lot of damage, in case you didn't know. Thor's air attack does extra damage to light units, and it also does damage in a splash as well, so it hits an area instead of just a single target. So Thors are very, very good against units like Mutalisks. Hellions trying to work in there and do some damage. A little bit of biomech action from KawaiiRice, and this is a very scary force right now for BboongBboongPrime. And look at that, catching KawaiiRice a little bit out of position, not able to micro those Hellions, and KawaiiRice is going to get absolutely crushed by this. Whoa. Alright, well, KawaiiRice looking like he was in the lead for a little bit there, but not anymore. BboongBboongPrime coming back and just absolutely crushing this army, and he might try to just go for a counterattack. Might decide to just try to secure this third as well. It could go either way. Speaking of thirds, KawaiiRice is like, no, I gotta turn around. Can't take that third right now. Good thing he didn't go there, otherwise he would have been dealing with all this. Of course, none of this can shoot up, but there are mutas on the field somewhere as well. Pretty sure. Unless they all got lost, which is possible. And I think we are going to see a gold expansion from BboongBboongPrime. Yep, there we go. Gold expansion on the way from our red Zerg player. I think that's a good decision. Look at this right away. KawaiiRice trying to scout for it, but he's not going to get there in time. The mutas and everything else is going to be able to take that Marine out very quickly. And they do. So KawaiiRice right now trying to wall in, trying to get his natural a little bit more secure. If we look at the supply right now, KawaiiRice is starting to fall back behind, which isn't too surprising as his opponent will shortly be on 4 bases, and he is still just kind of powering off of 2. So KawaiiRice could decide to try to take that third again, or, you know, he could decide to push out and try to end the game. Knowing KawaiiRice, yeah, he's sending that third out, he would probably rather take that third. He is a very aggressive player, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's the type of player that wants to just end the game fast and get it over with. He's also a player that, you know, is pretty good about playing a long game in a lot of cases, just from my experience seeing some of his matches. BboongBboongPrime, of course, knows about this hatchery, or about this command center, rather. And just kind of harassing with a couple mutas. Not really able to do a whole lot of damage with it, but it does keep KawaiiRice on his toes a little bit more. So that is helpful. You can kind of take whatever you can get. Hatchery finishing right now at that gold, and that's going to help him get a huge boost in income. He's already 30 supply ahead, and I think we're going to see him shoot up to 200 very quickly after this now. KawaiiRice, though, trying to macro himself up in army too. Both of these guys doing pretty good about keeping their money low. But this Thor is just so hugely helpful as far as defense goes against the muta. Just a Thor and a small group of Marines. Only about 12 Marines there. And that's going to allow him to stay very safe against this Mutalisk harassment. A Thor alone can get magic boxed fairly easily, but if you combine, you know, a dozen Marines or so, it becomes very, very difficult for mutas to do any damage. And look at this, KawaiiRice doing a great job with the upgrades. Terran infantry weapons level 3 already on the way. These mutas are now just kind of trapped back here. They're not going to do a whole lot for the rest of the game unless he tries to fly them out. So both players on 3 bases, actually BboongBboongPrime on 4 bases, one up on that, and he's going Festers and Hive. I'm so excited. Might get to see some Broodlords, might get to see some Ultralisks. I love it whenever a game goes to tier 3 tech. Although technically, I guess, a Thor is a tier 3 tech unit. But, you know, we see those all the time, so not quite as exciting. And turret a little bit out of position. This SCV is not going to ever finish building this command center. Another one's going to come and need to take his place. Oh, look at that though, losing a muta. Oh no, losing all his mutas. Whoa, to just a couple missile turrets. That's not terribly helpful. He does have another group here, but you know, overall those mutas are very, very valuable, very expensive, especially when you're creating infestors at the same time. KawaiiRice getting a little bit aggressive on the map right now, but BboongBboongPrime has a huge army. Both players getting pretty close to max, but yeah, KawaiiRice's army is just so small right now. Oh, sniping some infestors, though. That is absolutely huge. Gets 2 out of the 3 that were right there. 2 left pathogen glands, has finished, so these infestors do have enough for a fungal or 2. And these mutas are going to need to be pretty careful. What are you doing, BboongBboongPrime? Okay, he's going to maybe go for a bit of a counterattack here with the mutas. Oh, he needs to be very, very careful. Doesn't want to lose any mutas to those marines. He's trying to find a place to work in, maybe snipe off a siege tank or something like that. Overall, the army is very huge, and here he comes. Nice split with everything, and just not enough tanks for KawaiiRice. I think BboongBboongPrime. Oh yeah, he's just going to absolutely crush this. Not enough stuff for KawaiiRice, and BboongBboongPrime takes a huge supply lead. So despite that really nice early harassment from KawaiiRice, BboongBboongPrime has just been able to macro up a really, really nice army. Drop at the skull base here is doing as much damage as it can, but, you know, as much damage as it can just is not enough right now. Tons of lings being produced right now for BboongBboongPrime. Look at that, 73 lings on the field right now, and more streaming in. Greater Spire on the way as well, so we're going to see Broodlords in the near future if the game lasts that long. Plus 3 weapons. Almost finished there for KawaiiRice, so his Marines will pack quite a punch. But they don't have any armor, though. I take it back. They do have 1 armor, and he is getting plus 2. It's going to be a while till he gets that. So it's going to make his units a little bit less durable. Lots of roaches coming in right now, sniping off the tanks. Oh, this is a disaster for KawaiiRice. His army getting, again, you know, I'm going to use the phrase again, absolutely crushed. There's not really any other way you can describe it. I guess owned, punt, decimated, annihilated. Any adjective you want to use. Actually, that's a verb. Any verb you want to use to describe what's happening to KawaiiRice's army right now is valid. Unless you say tickled. I don't think tickled is a great verb to use in this case. KawaiiRice trying to stay in the game as long as he can. But yeah, 5th base going up right now for BboongBboongPrime. And I think KawaiiRice's days, unfortunately, are numbered. KawaiiRice, though, is definitely one of those players that doesn't like to give up early, though. So we're probably going to see him try to fight it out, but yeah, BboongBboongPrime just has so much stuff right now, even getting plus 3 melee attacks for his Zerglings. Has to come down the ramp to try to defend, and as these last units die, I think we might be seeing a GG fairly soon from KawaiiRice. Yeah, he doesn't have enough to handle these roaches, maybe with the reinforcements just barely, but he's got to know that BboongBboongPrime again is just replenishing his supply very, very quickly. We'll see. Yeah, they're the Broodlords, so BboongBboongPrime's going to be in a great spot right now. Carapace level 3 being upgraded as well. More Broodlords, more Corruptors on the way. Zerg Flyer attacks level 2. And here's the thing, is that melee attacks, if I remember right, melee attacks affect the hits of the Broodlings, but the initial hit when the Broodling flies down from the Broodlord rather, is a Flyer attack. So you actually need to max out both of them if you want to get the most out of your Broodlords. Sounds kind of strange, but that's the way it is. And there's a good amount of Broodlords out on the map right now for BboongBboongPrime. He does have 8 of them. KawaiiRice is going to have a very difficult time to hold these off. I think once those enter the fight, that's going to be about it. BboongBboongPrime basically taking his entire half of the map, and a little bit of KawaiiRice's half as well with that 6th base right there. And, you know, I think KawaiiRice had a great run in this tournament. I thought he played really well, but I think he's about to get taken out by, you know, a very good Zerg player. Nothing at all wrong with that. No shame in losing to a player like BboongBboongPrime, a very high caliber player. And here come the Broodlords, and no Vikings, not a single one on the map for KawaiiRice, just a couple Marines. And that should be about it. Lings attacking the natural as well. Planetary getting whittled down over time. Yep, there it goes. And with that, GG. And BboongBboongPrime is going to the finals to face FXO Inori. We've got a PVZ finals. It's going to be really fun to watch. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Doa casting for LastPlayerStanding.com. This is Open Tournament number 2. That was our final semifinal round. And so we are going to move into the 3rd place match is the next one I'm going to do. So stick around for that. And then our grand finals best of 5. It's going to be great. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next cast.